We call Buddha the awakened one. What is this awakening? This awakening is really the cessation of inner dreaming. There is no dream inside. You move there, but there is no dream. It is as if there were no star in the sky. It has become pure space. When there is no dreaming, you become pure space. This purity, this innocence, this non dreaming consciousness is what is known as enlightenment, the awakening. For centuries, spirituality all over the world, east or west, has said that man is asleep. Jesus says this, Buddha says this, the Upanishads talk about this. Man is asleep. So while you are asleep in the night, you are just relatively more asleep. In the day, you are less asleep. But spirituality says that man is asleep all the time. This has to be understood. What is meant by this? Gurdjieff in this century emphasized this fact that man is asleep. In fact, he said man is a sort of sleep. Everyone is deeply asleep. What is the reason for saying that? You cannot know, you cannot remember who you are. Do you know who you are? If you meet a person in the street and you ask him who is he and he cannot reply, what will you think? You will think that he is either mad, intoxicated, or just asleep. If he cannot answer who he is, what are you going to think about him? On the spiritual path, everyone is like that. You cannot answer who you are. This is the first meaning when Gurdjieff or Jesus or anyone says that man is asleep. You are not conscious about yourself. You do not know yourself. You have never met yourself. You know many things in the objective world, but you do not know the subject of you. Your state of mind is as if you had gone to see a film. On the screen, the film is running, and you have become so absorbed in it that the only thing you know is the film, the story, whatsoever is appearing on the screen. Then if someone asks you who you are, you cannot say anything. Dreaming is just the film. It is the mind reflecting the world. In the mirror of the mind, the world is reflected. This is what dreaming is. And you are so deeply involved in it, so much identified with it, that you have completely forgotten who you are. This is what being asleep means. The dreamer is lost in the dreaming. You see everything except yourself. You feel everything except yourself. You know everything except yourself. This self-ignorance is the sleep. Unless dreaming ceases completely, you cannot awaken unto yourself. You might have felt it sometimes while looking at a film for 3 hours, and suddenly the film stops and you come back to yourself. You remember that 3 hours have passed. You remember that it was just a film. You feel your tears. You have been weeping because the film was a tragedy to you, or you were laughing, or you were doing something else, and now you laugh about yourself. What nonsense you were doing. It was just a film, just a story. There was nothing on the screen, just a play of light and shadow, just an electrical play. Now you laugh. You have come back to yourself. But where were you for these 3 hours? You were not at the center. You had moved completely to the periphery. There, where the film was moving, you had gone. You were not at the center. You were not with yourself. You were somewhere else. This happens in dreaming. This is what our life is. The film is only for 3 hours. But this dreaming is running for lives and lives and lives. Even if suddenly the dreaming stops, you will not be able to recognize who you are. Suddenly you will feel very faint, even afraid. You will try to move again into the film because that is known. You are acquainted with it. You are well adjusted to it. For when the stopping of the dream happens, there is a path, particularly in the Zen, which is known as the path of sudden enlightenment. There are techniques in these 112 methods. There are many techniques which can give you sudden awakening, but it can be too much and you may not be capable of bearing it. You may just explode. You may die even, because you have lived in dreamings for so long that you have no memory of who you are if there is no dreaming.